Parenting is chaos, laughter, and love. It's the hardest, happiest ride you'll ever take. So real mamas, let's get talking. Don't forget to hit that bell, like, and subscribe for more parenting tips. Okay there, welcome back all you real mamas. Today we're going to talk about tantrums. And I know what you're thinking. We've all been there. It's just like, no, I'm really not in the mood for it. Before I go into it, we really have to look at ourselves. And yes, adults do it too. We have tantrums also. And children who are not taught how to tolerate frustration when they are young will continue to have tantrums into adulthood. So after passing successfully through the childhood tantrum stage, adults are expected to self-calm in the face of a negative or inconvenient situation. And hey, that's hard. So I think I know what we're all thinking. Technically, I witnessed this following scenario. So here it goes. So let's just say Mrs. W had to take care of an important matter in a really busy district where parking, there wasn't a lot of parking outside. And after circling the block and looking for parking, and it was really, really hard to find a spot, she finally found a spot. And she was so happy. Sorry, guys, but I'm kind of old. So this I remember from like when there was parking meters outside. Yeah, she paid at the parking meter, she did, and she went off. And technically, she was only late by 2 minutes. And as she's approaching her car, she sees a police officer, I don't know what you call them, giving her a ticket, literally in the middle of writing her a ticket. And she runs up. It's like, no, I've only been late for 2 minutes. The police officer is just completely ignoring her. And that was it. She's getting angry, screaming, claiming that literally he was waiting here the whole entire time until it was finished. Like literally she was being so nasty. And he just, he wrote the ticket up. He didn't even give it to her. He put it on her windshield and just continued walking. And obviously you can imagine she was the whole way as he's walking away, she's just screaming behind him. So yeah, we've all witnessed adults who, honk intensively as a person in front of them is driving slowly, or a reckless driver, in the middle of a road rage because he got cut off. These are all adult tantrums that occur when adults experience difficulty, when something doesn't go their way. So let us make sure that we prepare our children for adulthood by giving them the tools to self-calm and deal with frustration. Let's talk about anger and abuse, okay? And this is kind of like a short story that I'll tell you about. And it's a story that, it's just a story that we know in our community. It's kind of passed down. There's no really like unknown source for it. I heard this from a teacher of mine, and it's completely true. So there once was a little boy who had a bad temper. His father gave him a bag of nails and told him that every time he lost his temper, he should hammer a nail into the fence, in the backyard. So the first day, the boy drove 30 nails into the fence. Over the next week, he learned to control his anger. The number of nails obviously went down. He discovered it was easy to control his temper than to drive the nails into the fence. So eventually, finally, like one day came when the boy just didn't lose his temper at all. He told this to his father, who his father was, really rewarding and impressed. And he said, now he suggested to the boy that he starts pulling out the nails for each day that he wasn't able to control his temper. For each day that he was able to control his temper. And the days passed, and, the boy finally went to his dad and was like, hey, I got rid of all the nails. So the father took his son by the hand, led him to the fence, and said, you have done well, my son. Amazing job. But look at all the holes in the fence. The fence will never be the same. When you say something in anger, it leaves scars, just the way the nails do. And, I give this example also to my students in a different form that kind of, gives them a bigger effect, where I have them draw a heart on a piece of paper, and I have them crumple it up and tear it up, and then I ask them to try to, kind of glue it back together. But they just can't. It's impossible. There's marks, and it's just not as pretty as it was in the beginning. And so I explain to them how words can really, really affect each other. Parenting careers are sprinkled with positive and negative moments. Yet parents fantasize and wish that all parents' moments would be filled with love and infused with positive energy. But we all have those days. The ultimate key to the ability to transmit natural love on a steady basis stems from the ability to engage in anger management. One cannot feel pure love for a child if angry feelings are presented. When parents lash out in anger, they are driving nails into their children's hearts. Although parents may try to remove those nails after the angry words have been said, which we talked about with repairing, they cannot eliminate the hole that were made. Those holes are already there. So even though, yes, it is so important to repair, but we do have to try to control our anger management, because at the end of the day, our kids mirror us. Pretty much, we have to really learn from this. Now, why do we get angry? What drives us? It's hard, but we really have to work on it every single time. And why doesn't anger or abuse teach our children? Well, truthfully, it's the wrong message, getting angry. When parents lose control and scream in anger, their children will learn that when faced with frustration, they should just, kick and scream and throw things around and get angry, just like we did. So we really have to set a good example for them. So we really need to understand, most importantly, anger has never helped change children's behavior in the long run. The proof is very simple. There are many angry parents, and yet their children continue to misbehave. Obviously, anger has not managed to get rid of negative behavior. Is it ever okay to lose it? Is there ever a time when it's okay to lose it? There are some times when it's just so hectic that I feel that I have no other choice but to scream. But the truth is that when I feel that way, I take myself out of the situation. I go into a room, I lock the door. And if I have to scream, I'll put my face in the pillow and just scream. But at least I'll take it out on that pillow, and I won't take it out on my children. So make sure your priorities are properly in place. If need be, it is more important to do less housework and remain calm than to have a sparkling floor or hurt your children. We don't want to get to abuse. So believe it or not, it is perfectly acceptable for the children to skip their baths on a crazy hectic night, and for the dirty dishes to remain in the sink. The earth will continue to rotate. Nothing's going to happen. It's all going to be okay. But our children's emotional health is far more important than the conditions of our floors, our laundry, and our dishes. The impact that we leave them is much more important. And that's what they're going to learn to do with their children, because at the end of the day, they mimic us. So there you have it, real mamas. That's what I have to share for you today. I think it's a really important lesson. And obviously, it's something that we all work on. There's no such thing as a perfect mama, but just the fact that we're all here together makes us super mamas. So until then, continue being the greatest super mama that you can be. Don't forget to hit that bell, like, and subscribe for more parenting tips.